story takes us to the city of Portland, Oregon. Today, Portland is known for its beautiful landscapes, vibrant culture, and modern lifestyle. But hidden beneath its busy streets lies a dark and terrifying secret, one that has haunted the city for generations. These underground passageways are known as the Shanghai tunnels or the Portland Underground. What happened down there is so disturbing that it sounds like something straight out of a horror movie. But this isn't fiction. This is a real chapter of history, a chilling truth buried beneath the city. A truth filled with fear, mystery, and unimaginable suffering. Even today, many believe the walls of those dark tunnels still echo with the desperate screams of the people who once vanished into the darkness, never to be seen again. Back to the late 19th century, around the 1880s. At that time, Portland had grown into one of the busiest port cities in the United States. Along the banks of the Willamette River, ships were constantly being loaded and unloaded day and night. To avoid heavy street traffic and the harsh weather, local merchants came up with a clever solution. Beneath the city's Old Town Chinatown district, they built an extensive network of underground tunnels, connecting the basements of hotels, bars, and saloons directly to the waterfront. At first, these tunnels served a practical purpose. They were used to transport goods, barrels of alcohol, and food supplies to ships quickly and efficiently away from the crowded streets above. But over time, something sinister happened. The dark, narrow passageways fell under the control of some of the city's most dangerous criminals, human traffickers, kidnappers, and ruthless maritime gangs. What had once been a convenient trade route slowly transformed into a hidden world of crime and terror. And it was here that one of the darkest chapters in Portland's history began. A practice so notorious that it became known as Shanghaiing. Ship captains faced a serious problem. There simply weren't enough sailors willing to sign up for long, dangerous voyages across the ocean. Life at sea was brutal, and most people wanted nothing to do with it. So many captains turned to a far darker solution. They hired criminal gangs and underground operators to find sailors by any means necessary. The method was simple and ruthless. Workers, travelers, and unsuspecting locals would spend an evening at a bar or hotel in Portland's Old Town district. As they relaxed with a drink, hidden criminals would secretly lace their beverages with opium or other powerful sedatives. The moment the victim lost consciousness, a hidden trapdoor in the floor would swing open beneath them. Their unconscious body would be dropped directly into the dark tunnels below. In some cases, victims were reportedly knocked unconscious with a blow to the head and dragged into the underground passages by force. When these unfortunate people finally woke up, they found themselves trapped in a cold, damp, and pitch-black maze of tunnels. The air was heavy with moisture, the sound of rats echoed through the darkness, and distant cries of other prisoners filled the silence. They were kept there, hungry, thirsty, and terrified, until a ship was ready to leave port. Then, under the cover of night, they were marched through the tunnels and delivered directly to waiting ships, where they were sold to captains as unwilling crew members. By the time they fully regained their senses, the vessel was often hundreds or even thousands of miles out in the Pacific Ocean, heading toward distant destinations such as Shanghai. That notorious practice became known as Shanghaiing, and it is the reason these passageways came to be called the Shanghai tunnels. For many victims, the nightmare never ended. Some could not survive the hunger, abuse, and harsh conditions of captivity, and their lives ended within the darkness of the tunnels themselves. Their stories disappeared into the shadows, leaving behind one of the most chilling legends in Portland's history. The oldest and best preserved sections of these tunnels still exists beneath a place known today as Old Town Pizza and Brewing. Back in 1880, this building was the famous and luxurious Merchant Hotel, one of Portland's most prestigious establishments. While elegance and wealth shined above ground, a much darker reality lurked beneath its foundations. The most famous and heartbreaking story connected to this hotel is the legend of a young woman named Nina. In the late 19th century, Nina was a poor young woman who found herself drawn to the opportunities offered by the Grand Hotel. But behind the respectable appearance of the establishment, criminal networks operated in secret. According to local legends, Nina was trapped by these criminals and forced into a life she never chose. She was known for her beauty, but more importantly, she longed for freedom from the nightmare surrounding her. As the story goes, Nina eventually discovered the horrifying truth about what was happening beneath the city. She allegedly witnessed influential figures involved in human trafficking operations running through the underground tunnels. Determined to expose the crimes and help the innocent people being held captive, she considered speaking out. But the people behind the operation learned of her intentions, and they decided to silence her. One stormy night, while the hotel was unusually quiet, a group of masked men confronted Nina inside the building. Terrified, she ran for her life through the dimly lit corridors. But her escape came to an end near the hotel's old elevator shaft. Cornered and with nowhere left to run, she faced her attackers. Without mercy, they seized her and threw her into the deep dark shaft that descended toward the tunnels below. The fall was devastating. According to the legend, Nina crashed several stories down, suffering fatal injuries. Alone in the darkness, she cried out for help, but no one came. Her desperate screams echoed through the underground passages until they finally faded into silence. There, beneath the city, Nina took her last breath. The story claims that her body was secretly hidden within the tunnels, concealed behind a wall, while the criminals spread a different tale, telling authorities that she had simply left Portland and disappeared. Whether every detail is true or not, Nina's story has become one of the most haunting legends associated with Portland's Shanghai tunnels, a tragic tale of courage, betrayal, and a voice that was silenced in the darkness. The Merchant Hotel eventually closed its doors, and in its place now stands a popular restaurant and brewery known as Old Town Pizza and Brewing. But according to local legends, Nina never truly left. Many believe that her spirit still lingers within the building and the dark tunnels beneath it. Even today, visitors who descend into the basement or explore the Shanghai tunnels often describe an unsettling feeling, a sudden chill in the air, as if someone unseen is standing nearby. Over the years, employees, tour guides, and tourists have reported a number of strange and unexplained experiences. The scent of roses. One of the most common reports involves the sudden smell of roses or an expensive old-fashioned perfume. Deep inside the tunnels, where there are no flowers and very little ventilation, visitors sometimes notice a strong floral fragrance drifting through the air without any obvious source. Many believe this is a sign of Nina's presence. The woman in black. Several witnesses have claimed to see a shadowy female figure standing near the tunnel intersections or close to the old elevator shaft. She is often described as wearing a long black dress, silently watching from the darkness. And then, in the blink of an eye, she disappears. The name in the bricks. Perhaps the most chilling story involves the old elevator shaft itself. If you look closely at some of the brick walls nearby, you can still find the name NINA scratched into the surface. According to local folklore, those marks were not carved by any living person. Believers claim they were left behind by Nina's restless spirit, a desperate attempt to ensure that her story would never be forgotten. But the mysteries do not end there. Visitors have also reported hearing faint sobbing, heavy footsteps echoing through empty passageways, and the sound of chains dragging across the floor. Sometimes these noises seem to come from deep within sections of the tunnels where no one is present. It almost feels as if the souls of the innocent people who were once imprisoned there are still wandering through the darkness, searching for the freedom they were denied in life. Whether these stories are paranormal reality or simply legends passed down through generations, one thing is certain. The Shanghai tunnels remain one of the most chilling and mysterious places in Portland, a place where history, tragedy, and ghostly folklore continue to blur together beneath the city streets. The Shanghai tunnels is strictly regulated. Visitors are only allowed to enter as part of a guided tour, as the underground environment can be unsettling, with its narrow passageways, damp atmosphere, and eerie sense of isolation. As darkness falls, the tunnels become even more intimidating, and the experience is not recommended for young children or anyone who is easily frightened. These tunnels stand as a haunting reminder of how far human greed, cruelty, and exploitation can go. Beneath the streets of Portland lies a hidden chapter of history, one filled with suffering, fear, and stories that refuse to be forgotten. And when you walk through those underground passages, surrounded by cold brick walls and shadows stretching into the darkness, It can feel as though the past is not truly gone, as if history itself is still alive, still breathing, waiting in the darkness below.